If you talk to enough sellers, you'll hear this. Just send me something in writing. And a lot of wholesalers get excited because they think, oh, good, they're interested in my offer. And sometimes they are. But a lot of times, send it in writing is not interest. It's a polite way to end the conversation without saying no. So today, I'm going to show you how to handle send me something in writing like a pro, without getting out the phone too early, without wasting time on tire kickers, and without sending a number that later gets used against you. Because the goal is not to send paperwork. The goal is to get the contract signed. Let's start with what not to do. Mistake number 1. You immediately text them a number. Now they have your offer with zero context, and they'll shop it around. Mistake number 2, you email a contract before you've qualified anything. Now you look desperate, and you're asking for a signature from someone who barely understands what's going on. Mistake number 3, you turn into a long explanation machine. Sellers don't want a novel, they want clarity. The problem is most people use in writing as a filter. They want to see if you're real. They want something they can show their spouse or their attorney or whoever. And that's fine. But you need to control the process. So let's give a 3-step framework. Clarify, confirm intent, and send the right writing. Step 1, clarify what they mean by in writing. You say, sure. When you say in writing, are you wanting a simple written offer with price and terms, or do you mean the full contract? This matters because those are different steps. Step 2, confirm intent. This is where most people fail. And then you ask, totally fine, just so I don't waste your time. If I send it in writing and it matches what we talked about, what happens next? That question is polite, but it forces truth. Step 3, send the right writing with a scheduled follow-up. And then you do 2 things. Send a short, clean offer summary or the contract if appropriate. And set an exact time to review it together. Because if you send something and hope they read it, you're gambling. Now, why do sellers say send it in writing? And the real reasons. And there are 4 of them. They want proof that you're legitimate. They want something to show a spouse or a decision maker. They're overwhelmed and want to think, or they're trying to shop your number. Your response should identify which one it is. So let's use the intent filter line, and you should use this every single time this comes up. Absolutely. Before I send it, I just want to make sure that we're aligned. Are you looking for something to review with a spouse or a partner, or are you collecting offers to compare? Either answer helps you. If they say review with a spouse, great, schedule a spouse call. If they say compare, now you know that you're in a competitive situation and you need to tighten your process to understand what is most important to the seller in this transaction. Now let's talk about what you should send. And to be honest with you, most wholesalers send the wrong thing. If a seller asks for something in writing, your default should not be a full contract immediately. Your default should be a 1-page offer summary that includes the purchase price, as-is condition, who pays the closing costs, the typical terms that you use, closing timeline range that accommodates the seller's needs, the title company that's closing the transaction, any contingencies. Ideally, you keep this minimal if you're positioning yourself as cash and as is. And then the seller's responsibilities. Usually there's none, but sometimes it could be leaving items or moving out, whatever it is. And then your entity name and contact information. This accomplishes what the seller actually wants. Clarity and legitimacy without giving them a contract with dates, deadlines, language that they might misinterpret, and most importantly, a contract to leverage against you with your competition. Then once they say yes, you convert it to a contract. Now, sometimes you do need to send a contract right away, but only when you've qualified the seller, you have their motivation, and there is real intent to sign the contract. You don't need to send contracts to curious people. You're not running a DocuSign daycare over there. So how do you handle each scenario? Well, scenario A, they want to show a spouse or their partner. Seller, send it in writing. You, absolutely. Is this so you can review with your spouse or partner? If yes, perfect. I'll send a written offer summary, and the easiest thing is we hop on a 5-minute call with both of you so nobody's guessing. Is tonight at 6:30 or tomorrow at 11 better? And you just turned send it in writing into an appointment. Scenario B, they're overwhelmed and want space. Seller, send it in writing. You, no problem. I'll make it simple, price, timeline, and how closing works. When do you want to review it together? Today at 5:30 or tomorrow at 10? They might say, I just want to look at it. And you say, totally fine. I'm not trying to pressure you. I just know if I don't schedule a quick review, it turns into phone tag. So let's just pencil out 10 minutes. And if after you read it, you're not interested, we're done. That's respectful and structured. Scenario C, they're shopping your number. Seller, send it in writing. You, sure, before I do, are you collecting a few offers and comparing? If they say yes, don't get offended, get tactical. You say totally fair. In that case, I want to make sure I understand what is most important to you during this transaction. And then you repeat their motivation that they just told you back to them. Then I'll send my offer summary over. What time are you reviewing the offers? I want to make sure you don't miss any of my details. Again, you schedule a follow-up. Here's why send it in writing kills deals for amateurs. They send a text like 165K, and that's it. And now the seller thinks, is that net? Is that gross? Who pays the closing costs? When do we close? Are there inspections? Is this real? And because you didn't define terms, they assume the worst. Pros don't send naked offers. Pros send structured offers. So let's do some role play, bad versus good. Bad version. Seller, just send me something in writing. You, okay. And then you text, offer is 165. Seller, okay. And then silence, because you gave them no process and no urgency. The good version. Seller, send me something in writing. You, absolutely. When you say in writing, do you want a simple offer summary with price and terms, or the full contract? Seller, just something simple. You, perfect. One more thing. If I send it and it matches what we talked about, what's the next step? Seller, I'm going to show my spouse. You, great. I'll send the offer summary in the next 10 minutes. Then let's do a quick call with both of you so nobody's guessing. Is tonight at 6:30 or tomorrow at 11 a.m.? Now you're controlling the conversation. Now, let's talk about a follow-up message that you need to have for this offer summary. Now, you either can text or email this. Per our conversation, here's the written offer summary. Price is X dollars. Condition, as is, no repairs. Closing, on or before the closing timeline that the seller needs at this title company. Fees, who pays what? If this matches what you want, the next step is signing the purchase agreement and letting title open escrow. And then immediately ask, are we still set to review at this time? So here's your biggest takeaway. Send it in writing is often a test. They're testing, are you a professional? Are you real? And do you have a process? Pass the test by doing 3 things. Clarify what in writing means. Confirm intent. and send a structured offer plus schedule a review. If you do that, you'll stop wasting time and you'll close more deals. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Regardless, show me some love for this objection handling series. I know you guys are enjoying it. So like today's video, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.